Hey, Kevin Lawrence, Coach Kevin here. Hope you're having an excellent Wednesday so far. What an amazing world we live in. It's just been awesome to see some of the generosity of people and strangers and hear some of these awesome stories over the last few days. Just heard a story this morning from another colleague of mine telling me about a home building company down in the US in the Portland area. And they've got some homes that haven't sold, like most home builders do. And what they did is they went and made a circle around the hospitals wherever they had homes that were completed but not occupied. And then they offered it to the healthcare employees, the healthcare workers who maybe didn't want to go home for risk of infecting their family, or for some of the out of towners or the retired people who are kind of coming back to work, giving them a place to live. And that was just a beautiful, beautiful thing. Thanks, Keith, for sharing that example. Keith Cup for sharing that example. And the thing that he suggested and got me thinking too is like, what underutilized resources do you have that you could make available to others? How can you take things that you're not using or needing or have extra of? And that's whether as an individual or as a company to help other people. Like we're obviously using our excess capacity or inventing capacity to try and help and guide people. But all of us have things like that we could do. I thought that was a really kind of a really nice thing to hear amongst all the other great stories I'm hearing. The other piece is this great, I'll save the funny part till later. I'll save that till later. It's kind of funny. The second thing is usually we're used to hearing, kids or 3-year-olds go, "Oh, I'm so tired." Well, I'm hearing it from grown men and women, including myself. So what I just wanted to say, I had a conversation with another leader yesterday, and he's like, "Man, I'm tired. I'm feeling kind of burnt out." And he's kind of almost doing a reality check to make sure he's okay. I'm like, "Hey man, welcome to the club." Some people are taking it easy and it's a Netflix binge for them. But for some of us, it's a bit of madness. I mean, yes. So I always generally work fairly hard and I travel around the world. I'm jet lagged all the time, but I still generally have a lot of energy. But I had twice over the last few days where I was spending time with my kids. I had to lie down just to chill for a minute in the middle of the afternoon because 3, 4, I would see them in the afternoon and just fall asleep. Like, I do that when I'm jet lagged, but I haven't been on a plane in a month. I can't use that excuse. So if you're really tired, you're not alone. It's one, because of the additional stress. Two, because you're having to figure new things out and we don't have the muscle memory to rely on to make tasks or things easy. It's almost everything is new. So if you're tired, give yourself a break, cut yourself some slack, but take care of yourself. So this coming weekend, those of you that happen to have a holiday like we do in the West, how do you take some time to do some things you might not normally do? Because a lot of us have been thinking about our family and our friends and our communities, but what is some self-time that you might take? And what might you do? Like I got a intention to take either 24 or 36 hours, ideally, just to switch off and disconnect from the electronic world. I haven't done that in a while, but I'm feeling I need to do it. So no matter what do you got to do to take care of yourself and do a good job of that? And cut yourself a break. It's okay. I'm going to share with you something I just had shared with me here this morning, and I will put it up on the screen for you. Whoops, here we go. And this is it's kind of a funny story I saw, a little blurb. It's day 6 of homeschooling. My child just said, "I hope I don't have the same teacher next year. I'm offended." My heart goes out to all the parents that are homeschooling your kids. Wow. I mean, mine are older, so it's easier. They can do most on their own. Not all. They're most. But if you have young children, I can imagine that'd be very challenging. But congratulations on your promotion. You are now a certified homeschool teacher. Most of the developed world is, anyways. The thing I want to share with you in companies, there's lots of things that people are doing to help keep their cultures going and keep the culture strong. I'm just hiding the slide there for a second. And lots of great things that I'm seeing, and people reinforcing it and having their values and their purpose as part of their meetings as a slide to open up, reinforcing culture, having fun, reaching out to employees, reaching out to customers. So lots of really good stuff on keeping the culture alive. The thing I want to point you to today, though, is be careful to nip issues in the bud fast. When we're face to face, it's easier to nip issues in the bud because we're there and we're together. And that's why I'm sharing with you this book, David Emerald's book called The Empowerment Dynamic, or TED. It's about this thing called the drama triangle. I just like his approach to it. And it's basically what happens when you have people in a relationship and they get frustrated and then they go to a third party to vent. and try to recruit them to go deal with their problem. It reminds me of a story I had in high school where I frustrated someone and drove them crazy because of a debate we're having in English class. And it was this woman in class, and she was so frustrated with me, she asked Tony, the big Italian guy, to go beat me up. Now, thankfully, I'm pretty good at talking. I talked my way out of it, didn't get hurt that way. But it's that you recruit somebody else to go be a bully or a persecutor on your behalf, and you end up making a bigger mess. And so what we have here is the victim at the bottom. Then the rescuer is the hero who's coming in trying to help. To go back to the persecutor, the person that was initially doing the bad thing. So I was the guy on the debate irritating this other woman. Her name was Kelly. Remember her name. Won't use her last name. She felt like the victim, so she recruited a rescuer, Tony the Thug, to try and straighten me out. So it just creates all kinds of weird stuff. This happens in family dynamics. It happens at work. Heard an example today where someone's saying, yeah, I've got a whole bunch of people coming to me and complaining about, let's just say, Kevin, and they want me to go talk to him. And I'm like, no. If you go talk to Kevin on behalf of another person, you're playing that rescuer role. And then you're making the persecutor feel like a victim. And the whole thing just turns into a gong show instantly. So the principle is, if someone's got an issue with Kevin and they talk to you, you should say, wow, you got an issue with Kevin. You should talk to him. When are you going to talk to him? And you go up into the best part of the model. So you've got somebody who starts off with being at the bottom and a victim. We treat them like a creator, like a strong, empowered person. And when they talk to you, you act as a coach. You say, hey, it sounds like you got a problem with Kevin. What can you do to talk to him? When can you talk to him? How can you talk to him? Or do you want to have a conversation with the three of us? Avoiding you going and doing their dirty work, because people are trying to delegate their dirty work to you. Someone has a problem with Kevin, it's their job to talk to Kevin. Now, if there's a power dynamic in a company that doesn't allow that, then maybe you facilitate it, but don't be sucked into being the messenger. The messenger ends up becoming persecuted in the end. So the way you eliminate drama is called collapsing the conversation. Empower the person to go and have the proper conversation, to be like a creator, to create their own solutions with the challenger, or you could facilitate it, but don't get sucked into it, because then you add to the drama, and we're trying to minimize it. So awesome resource for you called the Drama Triangle. And the idea is believing people can solve their own problems and essentially staying out of the middle of it. And if you are in the middle of it, you're a witness to a conversation. You're not, being somebody's parent or speaking up on their behalf. Have an awesome day. And remember, from my perspective and lots of people's perspective, human beings are so resilient. There are painful things ahead of us and in the moment, no doubt. And we're resilient. And if we rely on and support each other, we can work through anything. That's what human beings are good at. And don't forget that we can continue to do that. We've got that opportunity at any time. All the best.